I'm Stan Kravitz. This is Adrienne's farm, our daughter Adrienne. We're here in Bridgewater, Massachusetts at our cranberry farm, one of 6 farms that we run. And it's an exciting business here in Massachusetts.
Yep. And I'm Adrienne Moeller. I'm a second-generation cranberry grower. So you're at our farm here in Bridgewater, which we let my father work on diligently.
My wife, Adrienne's mother's involved in it. Adrienne's husband, Chuck, the children involved in it. There's nothing like the family farm as a tradition of America, and you're producing something that's healthy for people, a good product, native to the United States and North America, and one that has a long, proud history of being a health-related product. We are constantly revamping, constantly growing, constantly learning. Like I said, the day you stop learning is the day you die, so you might as well keep learning something. We, a number of years ago, about 7 to 10 years ago, had a dramatic climate change in the state of Massachusetts, and to the west of us, the federal government and the EPA said number 6 oil will not be burnt unless you check your stacking emissions for sulfur, and because we don't want the sulfur going into the air, because sulfur causes acid rain, and acid rain, they said, is bad. And it was good for us because our pH wants to be about 5.6. So now what we do is we go out and we buy sulfur, and we spread it on the bogs in the spring to keep the pH down and keep it adjusted. So, I mean, we're really trying to play with Mother Nature a whole bunch, you know, through all the different things that we can do. And that's what makes the American farmer great, whether it be corn or anything else, vegetables. I mean, we're trying to feed the world.
I just remembered I saw an article recently that was talking about how Massachusetts and I think New Jersey cranberry farmers were at risk of being impacted by global climate change because of something having to do with the flowering patterns?
The flowering pattern they think is changing. That's, you know, I don't know. I think man has an overestimated opinion of himself and thinking that we can change what Mother Nature does. I think we go through cycles of weather changes, and that's why I said you can never say, I know how to grow cranberries, because next year it'll be something totally new and different. The only thing I've seen man do to change us that quickly was what I spoke of on acid rain. We cured it. The United States cured acid rain. It really did. I got to tell you, I can prove that just on a book. But the rest of the changes, I don't know if how much is caused by what. And what's global warming? We're going to have a cool down in our environment, not a warm up, a cool down. And everybody talked about global warming. Why don't they go about global cooling? The ice pack has receded and has grown and receded over many millions of years, and the world's changed. I mean, if this Earth gets, through a meteor or anything else, gets tilted on its axis a little bit, I mean, it will more than make up for anything we've ever done. It's a much bigger thing than you and I can ever comprehend, and thank God we've got a ton of people who are brilliant enough to understand all that. And I do agree that we're doing a lot of damages. And we've got to think about that and maybe kind of change the way that that we do things. As I get older, it's real important to me that I leave this better than I found it, because that's my only legacy.
Stan and Adrienne grow for Ocean Spray Cranberries, a cooperatively owned company based in Lakeville, Massachusetts. After spending an hour talking with us and showing us around their bog, Adrienne sent us to Lakeville to talk with Mike Stamatikos, Ocean Spray's Vice President of Agriculture, Supply, and Development.
I've been with Ocean Spray for 18 years. I've been working for another large consumer packaged goods company. Was here in New England and got transferred to the Midwest with that company. I was like, I got to get back to New England.
Is climate change a concern in the industry right now?
It is. It does look like, you know, the bloom is coming earlier, longer, hotter growing seasons, and that has some negative consequences to cranberries. The benefits of cold winters to kill off a lot of pests, actually. and then not real hot summer. So cranberries growing in a moist growing area, if it's real hot, they're subject to things like yeast and mold and deterioration from pests like that. So I think we've seen a general shift in cranberry production moving north into Canada as a result. But yeah, that is a definite concern, is what we've seen in the last, say, 15 years in terms of changes to growing patterns and the effect it's going to have on the crop in the long term. We are concerned about certainly, what climate change could mean to cranberry production for the sake of our growers. We're also concerned about making sure we have as little impact on the environment as we can, both at the farm and at the company level. Because we believe everybody's got to do their part. I think that global climate change is related to certainly CO2 in the atmosphere, and how much of that's coming from what we're doing, obviously, as humans living and burning fossil fuels and all the other things we do to create greenhouse gases. We're currently looking at some wind farm projects to help power this building, in fact, coming from wind from a wind farm on one of our growers' bogs.
Wow.
So we are recognizing we need to take those kind of steps and make those kind of investments to do our part.
The words climate change or global warming now are so highly politicized that that it's an uncomfortable topic to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's because exactly that. You immediately get pinned in a corner relative to the politics of it, and that shouldn't be. I mean, again, I think we should all be doing whatever we can to reduce our impact, because it's having an impact. Whether we know exactly how big or small that impact is, that's still what a lot of the science is working on. But we believe we've got to do everything we can to make our company and our farms as sustainable as possible, and that includes reducing greenhouse gas emissions.